Hello. Today we will be opening a Core 2021 pre-release pack and pulling 2 fairies because that's what we did last time. Well, no, would have been more like pulling 2 cannons, wouldn't it? We'll see what we get. I don't do this for money. I do this because I would have done it anyway. And now I can feel at least somewhat better about myself for filming it and uploading it so that other people can enjoy the experience of opening packs. Nothing going on here. We got a bunch of stuff. Got a M21 spin down. Very nice. We got the life and times of Teferi. He was born in Jamura, Dominaria. He was expelled from Urza's Tolarian Academy. At over 1,200 years old, Teferi has seen a thing or two. Here's a brief look at the history of one of the newest members of the Gatewatch. His spark was ignited and he became a planeswalker. Then, he phased Shiv and Zalfir out of existence to avoid the Phyrexian War. He sacrificed his planeswalker spark to restore Shiv. He assumed a new identity and started a family. And then he regained his spark. Oh, and it tells you like the set that this happened. Oh, that's cool. He regained his spark and rejoined the Gatewatch, and then he battled Bolas and on Ravnica in the War of the Spark. Cool, and it has some info on building a pre-release deck. Okay, so besides boosters, what was in the box? Another box. A separator. An ad for Magic Arena with a code on the other side. I'm not sure if it's unique or if it's generic, so I'm going to keep it for myself. And we got this guy. I'm gonna crack this open real quick. Ooh, I'm watching this card bend so much, and it's making me cringe a little bit. Alright, what do we get? Liliana's Standard Bearer. 2 and a black for a 3/1 zombie knight creature with flash, and when Liliana's Standard Bearer enters the battlefield, draw X cards, where X is the number of creatures that died under your control this turn. The purple banner of the House of Ves is a symbol of death wherever it's flown. I don't know a whole lot about this set, but it seems like it's a pretty good one. So we got an even split between the 3 arts. Let's start with Liliana and then move on to Chandra. and then Teferi, saving Teferi for last. Because this set is all about him. It's a Teferi show here. This seems backwards. We got a 3/3 green beast creature token. Jungle Hollow, a land. Jungle Hollow enters the battlefield tapped. When Jungle Hollow enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. Tap to add a black or a red. Malefic Scythe. 1 and a black. An equipment. Is this a foil? Are all of the cards just backwards? We're not going to peek. Artifact equipment. Malefic Scythe enters the battlefield with a soul counter on it. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each soul counter on Malefic Scythe. Whenever equipped creature dies, put a soul counter on Malefic Scythe. Equip for 1. Pay 1. Attach to target creature you control. Equip only as a sorcery. And our rare, Conspicuous Snoop. Costs 2 red for a 2/2 Goblin Rogue creature. Play with the top card of your library. You may cast goblin spells from the top of your library, as long as the top card of your library is a goblin card. Conspicuous Snoop has all activated abilities of that card. That's kind of fun. Unsubstantiate. 1 and a blue, instant. Return target spell or creature to its owner's hand. Nicely done. Okay, so this has gotta be a J. Because otherwise it'd say nicely done face, which I don't think is right. Nicely done, Jace. You always were good at disappearing acts, says Liliana Vess. Experimental Overload. 2, a blue and a red, sorcery. Create an XX blue and red weird creature token, where X is the number of X is the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. Then you may return an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Exile Experimental Overload. Explosions aren't necessarily failures, just a different kind of success. It's optimism for you. Faith's Fetters, 3 and a white, aura enchantment. Enchant permanent. When Faith's Fetters enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life. Enchanted permanent can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. Skeleton Archer. Costs 3 and a black for a 3/3 Skeleton Archer creature. The Skeleton Archer is a Skeleton Archer. When Skeleton Archer enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to any target. Soul, flesh, even eyes. None of these are strictly necessary for deadly precision, says Modris of Zargoth Fen. Chandra's Magmut. 1 and a red for a 2/2 elemental dog creature. Tap it, and Chandra's Magmut deals 1 damage to target planeswalker or player. Is it purebred? No, but it's pure fire, says Chandra Nalar. Hunter's Edge. 3 and a green, sorcery. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then that creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. The hunt ends. Lunch begins. This card feels unusually thick. Blood Glutton. 4 and a black for a 4/3 vampire creature with lifelink. Damage dealt by this creature also causes you to gain that much life. Some savor the hunt, but I savor the kill. Garrick's Gorehorn. 4 and a green for a 7/3 beast creature. It certainly takes after its master, big and brutish, and you can smell it from a mile away, says Liliana Vess. Makeshift Battalion. 2 and a white for a 3/2 human soldier creature. Whenever Makeshift Battalion and at least 2 other creatures attack, put a +1/+1 counter on Makeshift Battalion. Their ranks are thin and their formation is improvised. Their weapons are borrowed, and you'd best get out of their way. Sure Strike. 1 and a red. Instant. Target creature gets +3/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. It deals combat damage before creatures without first strike. To survive imminent doom, it sometimes takes a foolhardy soul who acts first and fears later. Library Larcenist. 2 and a blue for a 1/2 merfolk rogue creature. Whenever Library Larcenist attacks, draw a card. I specialize in missing manuscripts, pilfered poetry, and lifted letters. What a good boy. Alpine Watchdog. It's a 1 and a white for a 2/2 dog creature with vigilance. Attacking doesn't cause this creature to tap. On the 8th day, a blizzard hit, supplies were lost, and morale plummeted. On the 9th day, Dover found us. To the summit, a tale of survival. What a good boy. That's probably one of my favorite arts that I've seen. Alright, so I'm going to go through this one the other way now, because I like having the rares at the end. It makes it more suspenseful. Ooh. Opt. Costs a blue. Instant. Scry 1. Look at the top card of your library. You may put that card on the bottom of your library. Draw a card. The crystal pulsed with the power of Teferi's Planeswalker Spark. Had Joyra given him a blessing or a curse? This is basically just cycling plus scry. Except you can counter it easily. Whatever. Turn to Slag. 3 and 2 red. Sorcery. Turn to Slag deals 5 damage to target creature. Destroy all equipment attached to that creature. If it wasn't a blackened, stinking, melted abomination before, it certainly is now, says Koth of the Hammer. Secure the Scene. 4 and a white. Sorcery. Exile target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a 1/1 white soldier creature token. You know it's a great show when the Azorius arrest the props, too. This is Judith, the Scourge Diva. Vodalian Arcanist. 1 and a blue for a 1/3 merfolk wizard creature. With tap, add a colorless. Spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery spell. The Vidalian Empire tends to be insular. The scholarly Volsh caste are the exception, using education as an antidote to xenophobia. Citizen Training. 1 and a green. Aura Enchantment. Enchant creature you control. When Citizen Training enters the battlefield, draw a card. Enchanted creature gets +1/+0 and has trample. It can deal excess combat damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. Fetid Imp. 1 and a black for a 1/2 imp creature with flying. Pay a black and Fetid Imp gains Death Touch until end of turn. Any amount of damage it deals to a creature is enough to destroy it. Ooh. This is a nice frame. Basri's Acolyte. 2 and 2 white for a 2/3 cat cleric creature with lifelink. When Basri's Acolyte enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 other target creatures you control. That's fun. Infernal Scarring. 1 and a black. Aura Enchantment. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and has. When this creature dies, draw a card. One who is marked by a demon in life is sure to be remembered as one in death. Roaming Ghostlight. 3 and 2 blue for a 3/2 spirit creature with flying. When Roaming Ghostlight enters the battlefield, return up to 1 target non-spirit creature to its owner's hand. Some who die senseless deaths return as formless spirits, seeking answers where there are none. Shock. Costs 1 red. It's an instant. Shock deals 2 damage to any target. The beauty of it is they never see it coming. Ever. Says Razik's Spark Mage. That's funny. I don't think I've ever read the text on that before. Reign of Revelation. 3 and a blue for an instant. Draw 3 cards, then discard a card. As the sky opened up, we ran for shelter. Halfway there, I came to the sudden realization that, already soaked, there might be more to gain from experiencing the rain than running from it. Selfless Savior costs 1 white for a 1/1 dog creature. Sacrifice Selfless Savior. Another target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. Damage and effects that say destroy don't destroy it. She raised him from an orphaned pup and gave him a life of love. With his last act, he thanked her. Furious Rise. 2 and a red. Enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until you exile another card with Furious Rise. Clothis set out to mend the destiny of Theros, her fury guiding every stitch. And our rare. Baneslayer Angel. 3 and 2 white for a 5/5 angel creature with flying, first strike, lifelink, protection from demons and from dragons. Some angels protect the meek and innocent. Others seek out and smite evil wherever it lurks. Hoo boy. And we got a fancy looking swamp. I'm liking this. And a 1/1 red goblin wizard creature non-creature token with prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Cool. I can't remember if Baneslayer Angel is one of those cards that I hear a lot about, or like I get it confused with another card. But it seems fun. Problem I have with a lot of angels is they're expensive to play. Like that one costed 5, I think. I guess it is a 5/5 for 5, so that's not terrible, but moving on. Lofty Denial, 1 and a blue for an instant. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. If you control a creature with flying, counter that spell until its controller pays 4 instead. So this is just a strictly better, oh, what's that? I forget the name of the spell, but it's basically just the first part. Stymied Hopes, something like that. The mage scowled as yet another bolt splashed harmlessly against seemingly empty air. Oops. Igneous Cur, 1 and a red for a 1/2 elemental dog creature. Pay 1 and a red. Igneous Cur gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Some dogs just aren't meant to be indoor pets. They're really pushing out dogs. Is that so that they can have dog tribal be a thing? Because I know they have like cat tribal, but Walking Corpse, 1 and a black for a 2/2 zombie creature. Feeding a normal army is a problem of logistics. With zombies, it is an asset. Feeding is why they fight. Feeding is why they are feared, says Jedar, Ghoulcaller of Nephalia. Garrick's Gorehorn, 4 and a green for a 7/3 beast creature. It certainly takes after its master. Big and brutish, and you can smell it from a mile away, says Liliana Vess. Scorching Dragonfire, 1 and a red. Instant. Scorching Dragonfire and deals 3 damage to target creature or player. If that creature or planeswalker would die this turn, exile it instead. As the blaze raced toward her, Sir Emerald closed her eyes and pictured Castle Ardenvale, so her last thoughts would be of home. Oh yikes. Forgotten Sentinel costs 4. It's a 4/3 golem artifact creature. Forgotten Sentinel enters the battlefield tapped. It was built to withstand the ages, but no one remembers who built it or why it keeps its eternal watch. Warded Battlements, 2 and a white for a 0/3 wall creature with Defender. This creature can't attack. Attacking creatures you control get +1/+0. In dire times, even a place of refuge can become a weapon of war. Frost Breath costs 2 and a blue. Instant. Tap up to 2 target creatures. Those creatures don't untap during their controller's next untap step. I'll make ice chimes of your bones. Furor of the Bitten costs 1 red. It's an aura enchantment. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and attacks each combat if able. Those who only believe themselves infected with lycanthropy can be as dangerous as those who really are. Masked Blackguard. 1 and a black for a 2/1 human rogue creature. With flash, you may cast this spell any time you could cast an instant. Pay 2 and a black. Masked Blackguard gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Her footsteps are whispers, her passage a last breath. Faith's Fetters. 3 and a white for an aura enchantment. Enchant permanent. When Faith's Fetters enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life. Enchanted permanent can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. Liliana's Devotee. 2 and a black for a 2/3 human warlock creature. Zombies you control get +1/+0. At the beginning of your end step, if a zombie creature died this turn, you may pay 1 and a black. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Liliana inspires horror in many and fanatical to admiration in a few. Sanctum of Stone Fangs. 1 and a black for a Shrine legendary enchantment. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life, where X is the number of shrines you control. Renounce all limits. False chains, binding potential. Power knows no bounds. We got Basri's Lieutenant. 3 and a white for a 3/4 human knight creature. Vigilance, protection from multicolored. When Basri's Lieutenant enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever Basri's Lieutenant or another creature you control dies, if it had a +1/+1 counter on it, create a 2/2 white knight creature token with Vigilance. Cool. We got a Forest. And we got a 1/1 white bird creature token with Flying. Got it. Getting a lot of white cards. Which is good. White needs some good cards. Good reprints. Next pack. Cancel. 1 and 2 blue. Instant. Counter target spell. I decide what stands in my way. Thrill of Possibility. 1 and a red for an instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, discard a card. Draw 2 cards. Right now, in these first moments of creation, it is simultaneously nothing and everything. Revitalize. 1 and a white. Instant. You gain 3 life. Draw a card. A potion is no substitute for a skilled surgeon, but it will hold your bits in. This is Torix, Battlefield Medic. Track down. 1 and a white. Source. That's a green. 1 and a green. Sorcery. Scry 3, then reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card or land card, draw a card. To scry 3, look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put any number of them on the bottom of your library and the rest on top in any order. Scents fade and footprints wash away, but some trails can never be erased. Village Rites. Costs 1 black. It's an instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. Draw 2 cards. You were so eager to take and consume. Yet when asked to give, you refuse. Yikes. Rookie Mistake. Costs 1 blue. Instant. Until end of turn, target creature gets +2, +0, +2, and another creature gets -2, -0. Stop locking your knees as you strike. Now stand up and try again. Truffle Snout. 2 and a green for a 2/2 boar creature. When Truffle Snout enters the battlefield, choose one. Put a +1/+1 counter on Truffle Snout, or you gain 4 life. Its exploits are the stuff of legends among local chefs and fuel for nightmares among the forest thalids. Daybreak Charger. 1 and a white for a 3/1 unicorn creature. When Daybreak Charger enters the battlefield, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. It's often mistaken for the coming dawn as it gallops across the horizon. Mind Rot. 2 and a black. Sorcery. Target player discards 2 cards. Many an inventor has collapsed under the pressure to create a flawless design. Forgotten Sentinel. Costs 4. It's a 4/3 golem artifact creature. Forgotten Sentinel enters the battlefield tapped. It was built to withstand the ages, but no one remembers who built it or why it keeps its eternal watch. Leafkin Avenger. 2, a red, and a green for a 4/3 elemental druid creature. Tap to add a green for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. Pay 7 and a red. Leafkin Avenger deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. No, to target player or planeswalker. My roots are ash, my heart a smoldering ember. What I could not protect, I will avenge. Invigorating Surge. 2 and a green. Instant. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then double the number of +1/+1 counters on that creature. Interesting. For Hydras, most problems can be solved with the addition of a few extra heads. That would be fun in the Calamax deck. Chrome Replicator. Costs 5. It's a 4/4 construct artifact creature. When Chrome Replicator enters the battlefield, if you control 2 or more non-land, non-token permanents with the same name as one another, create a 4/4 colorless construct artifact creature token. Who would you trust to watch your back more than yourself? I don't know that I would trust myself to watch my back. Whoa. Now we're cooking with gas. Garrick Unleashed. 2 and 2 green for a planeswalker, legendary planeswalker, Garrick, who enters with 4 loyalty counters. His +1 is up to 1 target creature gets +3/+3 and gains trample until end of turn. His -2 is create a 3/3 green beast creature token. Then, if an opponent controls more creatures than you, put a loyalty counter on Garrick Unleashed. His -7. You get an emblem with, at the beginning of your end step, you may search your library for a creature card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Oh, that's a good card. And we got a boring mountain. What happened to that cool swamp we got? I want more of those. We got a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Now we're talking. Next pack starts with Crash Through. Costs 1 red. It's a sorcery. Creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. A creature with trample can deal excess combat damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. Draw a card. Alpine Watchdog. 1 and a white, or a 2/2 dog creature with vigilance. Attacking doesn't cause this creature to tap. On the 8th day, a blizzard hit. Supplies were lost, and morale plummeted. On the 9th day, Dover found us. That was in To the Summit, a tale of survival. Ooh. Liliana's Steward. Costs 1 black. It's a 1/2 zombie creature. Tap, sacrifice Liliana's Steward. Target opponent discards a card. Activate this ability only at any time you could cast a sorcery. Portcullis Vine costs 1 green. It's a 0/3 plant wall creature with Defender. This creature can't attack. Pay 2 and tap. Sacrifice a creature with Defender. Draw a card. Nature's way of saying, take the long way home. I wonder if this border is the M21 version of the comic book cards in Ikoria. I wonder. Scorching Dragonfire. 1 and a red. Instant. Scorching Dragonfire deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If that creature or planeswalker would die this turn, exile it instead. As the blaze raced toward her, Sir Emerald closed her eyes and pictured Castle Ardenvale, so her last thoughts would be of home. Warded Battlements. 2 and a white, or a 0/3 wall creature with Defender. This creature can't attack. Attacking creatures you control get +1/+0. In dire times, even a place of refuge can become a weapon of war. Frost Breath costs 2 and a blue. Instant. Tap up to 2 target creatures. Those creatures don't untap during their controller's next untap step. I'll make ice chimes of your bones. Furor of the Bitten costs 1 red. It's an aura enchantment with enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and attacks each combat if able. Those who only believe themselves infected with lycanthropy can be as dangerous as those who really are. Masked Blackguard. 1 and a black for a 2/1 human rogue creature with flash. You may cast a spell anytime you could cast an instant. Pay 2 and a black. Masked Blackguard gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Her footsteps are whispers, her passage a last breath. Conclave Mentor costs a green and a white. It's a 2/2 Centaur Cleric creature. If one or more +1/+1 counters will be put on a creature you control, that many +1/+1/+1 counter are put on that creature instead. That's an interesting way of saying that. When Conclave Mentor dies, you gain life equal to its power. I have faith in your potential. Liliana's Devotee. 2 and a black for a 2/3 human warlock creature. Zombies you control get +1/+0. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, you may pay 1 and a black. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Skyway Sniper costs 1 green. It's a 1/2 elf archer creature with reach. This creature can block creatures with flying. Pay 2 and a green. Skyway Sniper deals 1 damage to target creature with flying. No sight is more beautiful than a clear sky. And our rare, Ghostly Pilferer, 1 and a blue, for a 2/1 spirit rogue creature. Whenever Ghostly Pilferer becomes untapped, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. Whenever an opponent casts a spell from anywhere other than their hand, draw a card. Discard a card. Ghostly Pilferer can't be blocked this turn. Oh wow. That's a pretty card. And we got a fancy looking Cultivate. 2 and a green. Sorcery. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Reveal those cards and put 1 onto the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand. Then shuffle your library. All seeds share a common bond, calling to each other across infinity. That's going straight into one of my decks. I'll just have to decide which. We got a Dismal Backwater. Land. Dismal Backwater enters the battlefield tapped. When Dismal Backwater enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. Tap to add a blue or a black. We got a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Do we get 2 rares? Yeah. I'm very pleased with that. Well, if I were in pre-release, I have 1 more pack, but I think I'd do a white, green, and black combo maybe. I'd have to look at the uncommons and commons, but based on the rares, I would go with white, green, and black. Our last pack begins with Frantic Inventory, 1 and a blue, instant. Draw a card, then draw cards equal to the number of cards named Frantic Inventory in your graveyard. Another village, another angry mob. Why do I even bother unpacking? Crash Through. Costs 1 red. It's a sorcery. Creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. A creature with trample can deal excess combat damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. Draw a card. Oh, what a good boy. Pride Malkin. Costs 2 and a green. It's a 2/1 cat creature. When Pride Malkin enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has trample. They can deal excess combat damage to the player or planeswalker they're attacking. Walking Corpse, 1 and a black for a 2/2 zombie creature. Feeding a normal army is a problem of logistics. With zombies, it is an asset. Feeding is why they fight. Feeding is why they are feared, says Jadar Gulcaller of Nephalia. Furor of the Bitten. I need to look up how to say this word because I don't know. Costs 1 red. Aura enchantment. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and attacks each combat if able. Those who only believe themselves infected with lycanthropy can be as dangerous as those who really are. Prismite. Costs 2. It's a 2/1 golem artifact creature. Pay 2. Add 1 mana of any color. Even its shadow is a dazzling rainbow. Pitchburn Devils. 4 and a red for a 3/3 devil creature. When Pitchburn Devils dies, it deals 3 damage to any target. The ingenuity of goblins and the depravity of demons and the smarts of sheep. Legion's Judgment. 2 and a white. Sorcery. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. My lance was once wielded by Venerable Tarion. In his name and by his might, I cast you down. Wishcoin Crab. 3 and a blue for a 2/5 crab creature. What wishes do they grant? Mostly pinching related ones, says Omic, Superintendent of Waterworks. Gale Swooper. 3 and a white for a 3/2 griffin creature with flying. When Gale Swooper enters the battlefield, target creature gains flying until end of turn. Be glad the griffin set you back on your feet when it was done with you. My goat wasn't so lucky, says Aram Goatherd. Shipwreck Dowser. 3 and 2 blue for a 3/3 merfolk wizard with prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. When Shipwreck Dowser enters the battlefield, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Lost at sea doesn't have to mean lost forever. Palladium Mirror. Costs 3. It's a 2/2 mirror artifact creature. Tap to add 2 colorless. The mirror are like the Glimmer Void, blank canvases on which to build grand creations. And we got a normal Cultivate. 2 and a green. Sorcery. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Reveal those cards and put one onto the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand. Then shuffle your library. All seeds share a common bond, calling to each other across infinity. And our last rare is Rada, Heart of Keld. 1 a red and a green for a 3/3 elf warrior legendary creature. As long as it's your turn, Rada, Heart of Keld has first strike. You may look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may play lands from the top of your library. Pay 4 a red and a green. Rada gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of lands you control. Oh, that's fun. Huh. It just reminds me of Schnitzel from Chowder. We got a Swiftwater Cliffs. It's a land. Swiftwater Cliffs enters the battlefield tapped. When Swiftwater Cliffs enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. Tap to add a blue or a red. We got a 2/2 White Knight creature token with vigilance. So, for rares and mythics, rares and foils, and mythics, we got Liliana's Standard Bearer promo, Conspicuous Snoop, Malefic Scythe foil, Baneslayer Angel, Basri's Lieutenant, Garrick Unleashed, a Fancy Cultivate, Ghostly Pilferer, and Rada, Heart of Keld. Thanks for watching.